If you guys are in need of any grinding services, hit up my guy Rose NBA on Twitter. From domination to getting you guys a 95 plus overall hidden gem, he does it all. What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be doing a tier list of the best overall badges in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, I like doing these because I like giving you guys good insight on if you have a certain card at a certain position, what badges should you put on that specific card? So, for example, let's say you get, I don't know, the new Jalen Green, right? A lot of people got the new Jalen Green card. Well, what badges should you look to give Jalen Green? He's got 22 base badges. Should you look to give him, I don't know, I don't even exactly know what he has, but should you look to give him like Immobile Enforcer, or should you look to give him Strong Handle if he doesn't have that badge? Those are the types of things that hopefully I can help you guys decide between in this video. Let's start with badge number 1. It is Aerial Wizard, and I'll tell you guys what each and every one of these badges are. Aerial Wizard. Basically, what Aerial Wizard does is it allows you to like get put back dunk stuff like that. It's not necessarily in my favorite badge. Aerial Wizard's description is increases the ability to finish lobs and putbacks at the rim. So, I mean, putbacks sometimes naturally do happen, guys. Like, you're sometimes naturally going to get a putback dunk, stuff like that. But I think overall, the amount that badge is utilized is pretty small. And so for me, I'm going to put it at D tier. The only way I'd apply Aerial Wizard is if you do have a card that basically has every badge in the game. For example, I don't know if Paolo Banchero comes with Aerial Wizard, but I do know he gets every badge in the game, so you might as well throw it on him. Badge number 2, Float Game. Now look, I don't shoot floaters in this game. However, there are certain guys that do shoot floaters. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's obvious the description is improves abilities, is someone's ability to make floaters around the rim. Now, again, I don't shoot floaters in this game. However, there are certain people that do. So this is just kind of a how you play. If you have never shot a floater in this game, if you're like me and never shoot floaters, it's F tier, probably, genuinely. I don't think it's completely useless, but to me it's F tier, and I'm going to talk about the next badge in this list kind of in the same way. The next badge on this list is Hook Specialist. For me personally, and this is me, I do not use this badge. I just don't. It improves abilities to make post hooks. I do not use this badge, and I don't use Float Game. So for me, both of those are going to go to F tier. I don't use them. They're not valuable to me. And so you're going to see a lot of these badges are valuable. A lot of these down here I do like. But with those two badges, I think they're honestly useless badges on the game. I'm going to go F tier with both of them. Next badge we have here is Layup Mix Master, which does improves people's ability to hit fancy layups at a high rate. I'm gonna go D tier still. No, I'm gonna go C tier. You know what? If you are one where, like, I don't know, you use AB a lot, which is Acrobat. Sometimes I do, like, you basically double pump layups. I do it sometimes. Or you just take tough layups. Layup Mixmaster can indeed help with those. I do think it's more valuable than Aerial Wizard. However, it's not my necessarily favorite badge in the game. I don't think it's super valuable. Depends how much you attack the rim, though. Like, if you attack the rim a ton, then maybe Layup Mixmaster is going to be more important for you. To me, again, it's not one of my favorite badges in the game. I think we have other badges that I personally would be a little higher on. Paint Prodigy up next, which does improve a player's ability to quickly and efficiently score down low. I don't know how impactful Paint Prodigy is. I'm going to throw it at C tier. Look, I'm one, and this is more of a MyTEAM tier list for badges than anything else. For me, yes, if you get to switch onto a smaller or a small, or you have a big that can't play any defense, sure, you know, Paint Prodigy is probably going to be important. But the odds of that happening, in my opinion, aren't super high, you know? And so it's a fine badge. It's more useful than Aerial Wizard. But in my opinion, it's not necessarily the craziest badge in the entire game, like some of these other badges on this list. Next up, guys, we do have Physical Finisher. What exactly does this badge do? It does improve a player's ability to battle through contact and convert contact layups. I think this is our first badge that could be B tier. I do, because I think, physical finisher, it's a badge that if somebody has that on Hall of Fame, they'll throw you out of the way and go score an easy layup. Like, it is such an important badge, especially in my team. Like LeBron James, Paolo Banchero, they can throw somebody out of the way to go convert a layup. It's absolutely crazy, absolutely ridiculous, and kind of a cheesy badge in some specific situations. And honestly, you don't have to do anything special, but the more you run to the rim, the more physical finisher is going to be used. Post fade phenom. Here we go with another one of these badges that I can't stand. What does it do? It improves an ability to hit post fades and hop shots. Like, I don't shoot post fades, so I'm going to throw it at F tier. However, if you play my team or any game mode and you take post fades, maybe, just maybe you could throw it at D tier, maybe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and gas that badge, because for me, if you're shooting post fades in 2K19, I believe, was the last year I felt like post fades were kind of overpowered. This year, like, you can hit post fades. I'm not saying you can't, but if that's the sole thing of your offense, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. Next badge here, we do have Post Powerhouse, which strengthens a player's ability at backing down defenders and moving them with drop steps. I think this and Paint Prodigy are at the same tier, because if I get a switch, I need Post Powerhouse. I need a guy that's going to punish ace ball, because the problem is, if you have a big, and let's say you're running an inside big, that can't punish switches, you are going to have issues. Now, Wilt Chamberlain's the prime example of this. If you've ever played against Wilt Chamberlain in my team, you know exactly what I'm talking about, guys. You can't switch screens against him because he absolutely punishes them. And so that's my thing. I think those two badges kind of do work together. I'm going to go C tier with both of those things. Again, I don't necessarily think they're like necessarily the best badge of the game, but they're fine. Post Up Poet is a fine badge as well. Raises the chance of faking out of getting by the defender and making shots when performing post moves. So a lot of times when I get the ball in the post, I'll do like a spin, or basically you're posting up and then you'll like do a kind of swim through type move. That's what Post Up Poet is going to help with. I think that Post Powerhouse, all of those badges kind of go together. I like them way more than like Hook Specialist and Post Fade Phenom. So that's where I'm at with those badges. And it's crazy. Like, we're saving all the good badges for last, but that's fun. Post Riser. Post Riser is a super, super, super good and super important badge in this game. And I hope you guys understand it. It improves the likelihood of post rising your opponent. Have you ever had a dunk that the guy like gets a fake intimidator contest and then the ball goes flying out of bounds? The post riser is going to help with that. You ever use the dunk meter and put somebody in the rim? Post riser is going to help with that. If you do it, I'm not going to put it S tier. I do think it's A tier. But if you attack the rim a lot, post riser is definitely going to help out. It's a badge that I put on nearly all my bigs, all my wings that are going to attack the rim. It's not necessarily as important as some of these other badges, but trust me when I tell you guys, Post Riser is a super, super, super good badge on this game. And definitely if you have a badge spot for it, is a badge I would look to give your guys. Rise Up, I feel like this was a badge that was better in past years. I still do think it's B tier, however. I still do think it is a solid badge on this game. What does Rise Up exactly do? Well, makes it easier to dunk one under the basket. So, like with interior bigs, let's say like a Dwight Howard, Wilt Chamberlain, they're already going to have those badges. But with a guy like LeBron James, you never know. Maybe you'll get to the rim and then you have to do a standing dunk animation. That's where Rise Up really is going to help. Like I said, in past 2Ks, it has been more valuable. I think this year, B tier is the right spot for Rise Up. Box Out Beast, A tier. I mean, that and Rebound Chaser are so important. Rebound Chaser, in my opinion, is more valuable. So I'm going to put Rebound Chaser at S tier, Rise Up, or Box Out Beast at A tier. But if you ever went to get a rebound and your guy gets swam around for the rebound and you give it up, that's the Box Out Beast badge. So for any like wing small forwards or above, I would give Box Out Beast. I give Rebound Chaser to nearly everybody on my squad. Now, we're going to talk about it for point guards. Obviously, you know, strong handle might be more important than Rebound Chaser. But I can tell you so many different times, and obviously it's because of his rebound rating as well, but how many boards the Diamond Russell Westbrook gets on me. It's crazy. He gets so many different rebounds, and I think Rebound Chaser, the badge, is a big reason why. So Rebound Chaser, one of the best badges in the entire game. Challenger, another super, super important badge. And Challenger, I feel like is kind of overpowered right now in this game. And if you're like, Ty, what are you talking about? Why is Challenger overpowered? Well, let's first, the thing we need to start with is what does Challenger do? It improves the effectiveness of well-timed contests on perimeter shooters. Post-patch, post-contest patch, everything is contested on this game. If you jump at a perimeter jump shooter, it is going to be a contested 3-ball. It is. Everything is contested on this game. And so I think the impact that Challenger has is super impactful right now. I mean, again, you press triangle, everything is a contest on this game. Challenger helps with that. I'm going to go S tier. Glove, I mean, I'm going to go B tier with Glove. I think Glove is an important badge, but the problem with Glove is I'll get a steal or I'll get a pluck and it won't work. It increases the ability to successfully steal from ball handlers. So it doesn't help you, with lane steals, anything like that. It just helps you get plucks on ball. The thing for me is this year I've gotten so many bump steals, so many what should have been steals, but then the offensive player gets it back. And that is so frustrating to me. So that's why I'm putting him a B tier. I just feel like the ability for offensive players to get the ball back after losing it drives me up a wall. High Flying Denier, such a good badge. Such a good badge on this game. It's what Chase Down Artist used to be. So Chase Down Artist, such a good badge in the past 2Ks, was super impactful. High Flying Denier, it raises the chance of getting a block when moving at a high speed. So like chase down, right? You're chasing somebody down, you could get a chase down block. Or even if you're holding the sprint button trying to contest, you get a crazy animation. That is High Flying Denier. It is a crazy badge. Chase Down Artist was super important when that was in the game. High Flying Denier is kind of the same type of thing. It is a super impactful badge defensively. And you will notice during this list, I'm going to be higher on defensive badges than offensive badges. It's because I'm a defensive badge. But High Flying Denier, a good badge. Immovable Enforcer, it's always been an important badge on this game. The only question is Immovable Enforcer A tier or is it S tier? Well, let's talk about the badge, see what it exactly is. It improves a defensive player's strength when defending ball handlers and finishers. I think you got to go S tier. You give a guard or a wing Immovable Enforcer, it improves their strength when defending ball handlers. That's the first thing. And when defending on the interior. It is such an important badge. Has been for year after year. To me, S tier for Immovable Enforcer. It is the badge that I give nearly everybody on the floor. That, as well as another badge that I'll talk about here in a second, are defensive badges that you might think might be better on big guys, but are super impactful to everybody. Interceptor still is an important badge. I'm going to go A tier. It is, a badge. It's basically going to help you get lane steals, increases chances of getting steals in passing lanes, is its exact description. Yes, it's important, but there have been years, and this year is better than past years, where Interceptor is overpowered. In 20 back then, Interceptor was so overpowered. It's still a good badge, but I do think there are defensive badges, like I said, with Rebound Chaser, with Challenger, with Immovable, that are just slightly more important right now. Off-ball Pest, it is an important badge, but is it, an S tier badge? I don't think so. Off-ball Pest is important. It is a badge I would look to give your players if you can, but there are better badges in the game. It improves the player's ability to bump and harass the off-ball offense. So to me, I'm going to still go B tier. I still think it's better than all those post-up badges. I'd still apply it over them. However, the only way, is S tier is if somebody is consistently running back cuts. If somebody is consistently running back cuts against you, then yes, I do think off-ball pest becomes that slightly more important. However, I just don't know. This year, it's harder to call back cuts, all of those things. I think off-ball pest deserves to be a B tier. On-ball menace, the best badge in the entire game. Give this badge to every single player on your team. Doesn't matter if they're a center, doesn't matter if they're a point guard. On-ball menace literally is the most important badge on this game. You guys might be wondering, okay, Ty, but tell me the description of on-ball menace. Well, its exact description is this: relentless perimeter defender. That's the exact description on 2K. You are going to be it's basically the clamps of the past. It is a badge that isn't a want. It is a need on your players. On-ball menace, S tier, easy. Paint Patroller is the old Intimidator. And so I'm going to go S tier with that as well. If I have to move Rebound Chaser, Challenger down, I will. But I'm sorry, you've got to put Paint Patroller or the old Intimidator in S tier, especially for wings, especially for bigs. But guess what? if you do run Paint Patroller, you're going to get more paint stops with a guy, let's say, like Chris Paul. So, for example, if you're running Diamond Chris Paul, Paint Patroller would be a pretty important badge to give the card. Pick Dodger, it is still an important badge. A tier. It's your ability to get around, navigate screens. It's got to go A tiers. You might argue S tier, and if you want to, I'm not going to be the one to hate on it. However, I do think A tier is the right spot. Post Lockdown, C tier. I feel like defensively, it's one of the least important badges. And I'm not saying it's useless, because it's not. But I feel like the amount of times you use it is pretty small. Plus, let's say somebody does get a mismatch in the post. If you really want to, you can just foul every single time. So, is it a badge? If you have to apply at C tier, I would. I'd put it over some of these other badges here. But I think C tier is the right spot. Brick Wall, S tier. This goes right in there with Immovable Enforcer. Brick Wall is, ever since they made it like a defensive badge so you don't get backed down defensively anymore, it became so much more important. It used to be just screen setting, but now it's basically improves your ability to not get backed down on the floor, which just makes it so much more valuable on the court. To me, it's got to go S tier. Plus, a lot of times, even for, let's say, Chris Paul, I sometimes like setting screens with my point guard, and so that is going to be another, avenue in which Brick Wall is useful as well. So for me, I am going to put it in S tier. Slippery Off Ball, it's a good badge, but it's less impactful this year just because back cuts are harder to call. To me, it is deserving of B tier, though. I do think Slippery Off Ball is a B tier badge. It just comes down to they kind of nerfed Slippery Off Ball. They did. Slippery Off Ball used to be a better badge. They nerfed it, and now it's fine, but it's not as impactful as it once was. Pogo Stick. I don't know with Pogo Stick, guys. I still think defensively they're a way more important badge. It just depends on how much you personally jump on the interior. I feel like for me, I don't jump that much on the interior anyways. So Pogo Stick, to me, it's a fine badge, but it's not necessarily one of my most important or needed badges. And so that's my opinion on Pogo Stick. If you jump a lot, sure, you could put Pogo Stick higher. For me, I do think B tier is the right spot. Deadeye. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I do think Deadeye is A tier. What Deadeye is going to do, it reduces the impact of a defender who is closing out. I feel like Deadeye, pre-patch, pre-contest patch, used to be a better badge. Now, I'm going to go A tier. I might even go B tier. It just doesn't matter as much. It doesn't, because everything is still a contest on this game. Even if somebody has half Deadeye, it does not matter. They're still getting a contest. I'm going to go B tier. Limitless Range, I'm going to go A tier. And it's crazy that Limitless Range isn't S tier. But Limitless Range is not nearly as impactful as it once was. You go back a couple of 2Ks, Limitless Range was very overpowered. This year, it might help, but it doesn't help that much. Mini Marksman, it's a fine badge. I'm not trying to hate on Mini Marksman. But the thing for me is, like, is it that valuable? It improved, or basically its description is unfazed by larger defenders when taking jump shots. I mean, how much is that going to be utilized? I don't know. I'm going to go C tier. Set Shot Specialist. It's the new catch and shoot, the best offensive shooting badge in the entire game. It genuinely is. You get your feet set, it is going to help your green window out. It's going to help your ability to knock down standstill jump shots, which is what you probably do most on the offensive end of the court. Set Shot Specialist, S tier for sure. Shifty Shooter, it depends how many fades you shoot, guys. If you shoot a lot of fades, probably A tier, maybe even S tier. If you don't shoot a lot of fades, maybe C tier. I mean, it improves a player's ability to successfully make high difficulty jump shots. A tier probably, I mean, I think is where you belong, because there are certain situations where you got to take fades in tight window, stuff like that, but I do believe that's where it belongs. Ankle Assassin, basically the old ankle breaker, increases the ability to break down the defender or cross them up. I guess I'll go C tier. I don't love the badge. Bailout, I'm going to go B tier. I hate this badge. The fact that this badge is still in the game after multiple 2Ks is absolutely ridiculous. Increases the chance of successfully completing a pass from midair. So you go up to shoot, then you pass. So annoying to defend against. B tier for Bailout. It is super annoying, super frustrating. Break Starter is a decent badge. I think C tier probably is where I'd put Break Starter at this stage. It still is an impactful badge. It increases or improves a player's ability to make effective outlet passes after grabbing a rebound. I just feel like for me, I get the ball to a guard first, or I make a pass in the backcourt before I throw it to the front court. So I'm going to go C tier for a break starter. Dimer, I'm going to go B tier. It is a useful badge, but how much does it really help, I feel like, is the big question. Obviously, what Dimer does, it boosts the shot percentage for open teammates on jump shots after catching a pass. I'll go B tier. Obviously, a helpful badge. Handles for days, I'm going to go A tier. It is so annoying when you're handling the ball and then you lose your stamina and then you can't do anything. So handles for days is going to help with a lot of different things. Number one, helps obviously you run your offense. You're not going to get as tired as quickly when handling the ball. But number two, your players are going to stay more fresh if you do have handles for days. It reduces the amount of energy loss when performing dribble moves. Obviously, you can't dribble as much this year, so it's not that good. Still a solid badge though. Lightning launch. I feel like I gotta throw lightning launch at S tier. I feel like I have to. It's the old quick first step. The only thing 2K is doing is they're just changing what it is. Explosive when driving to the basket. So yes, your first step, that's what lightning launch is. S tier. Strong handle. I still don't know how impactful strong handle is on this game. I've played the game a lot, but I still don't know. It's something that I've still got to figure out. And it reduces the likelihood of being bothered by defenders when dribbling. So like, when somebody bumps you, when you maybe how much energy you lose, how affected you get, I guess I'll throw it at B tier. I still am, the jury's still out though on strong handle. I don't know exactly how impactful that is. Unpluckable, I'm gonna go B tier. I feel like this year it's not as important. Like in the past, if you haven't had unpluckable, you would get plucked nearly every possession. This year, it's not nearly as impactful. I do think B tier is the right spot for unpluckable. This badge stinks. This badge, Versatile Visionary, is one of the worst badges on this entire game. Allows for high risk, creative passes, and alley-oops to be made more successfully. F tier. I mean, if you're using this badge, do what you got to do. I'm going F tier with this badge. I don't throw alley-oops. I think the badge is basically worthless. That's going to wrap it up for my tier list today. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Is it a great tier list? Is it a bad tier list? What badge am I too high on, too low on? Let me know. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.